You were born with it, and you will live with it for the rest of your life. You look at it every single day. Sometimes you admire it. Sometimes you criticize it. Sometimes you compare it to others. But here is the truth. Your body is not just flesh and bones. It is one of the most advanced biological machines ever created. It breathes without asking you. It heals without permission. It reacts faster than you can think. And today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating subjects of all, the male body. Not myths, not ego, not exaggeration, just science. Let's begin. First question. Why are men, on average, physically stronger than women? Across populations, men generally have more upper body muscle mass. In fact, studies show that men have roughly 60 to 75% more upper body strength on average. They also tend to have greater grip strength, stronger bone density, and higher explosive power. But strength is not random. It has an evolutionary story. For thousands of years, male humans competed for resources, territory, and mates. Physical competition shaped survival. The males who were stronger and more dominant were more likely to reproduce. Over time, natural selection favored traits like broader shoulders, denser bones, and higher testosterone levels. Testosterone plays a massive role. It increases muscle mass, boosts red blood cell production, and enhances competitive behavior. But here is something important. Men are not violent because they are strong. They became strong because historically they had to compete more aggressively. Evolution shaped the body based on survival demands. However, modern society does not require physical combat for survival, which means strength today should be guided by discipline, not dominance. Now let's move to the brain. Are male and female brains different? This is a controversial topic, so let's stick to evidence. On average, male brains are slightly larger in total volume. But larger does not mean more intelligent. Brain size does not equal IQ. Intelligence between men and women averages out the same. However, some research suggests differences in certain areas. Men often perform better on spatial tasks. For example, mentally rotating objects, navigating in three-dimensional space, or solving mechanical puzzles. Some studies show stronger activation in regions linked to motor coordination and threat detection. Women, on the other hand, often show stronger connectivity in areas related to language processing and emotional interpretation. But here is the key point. There is massive overlap. Individual differences are far greater than gender differences. Your brain is shaped by biology, yes, but also by environment, education, and experience. Now let's talk about something many men experience, but few understand. Nighttime erections. The medical term is nocturnal penile tumescence. A healthy adult male typically experiences 3 to 5 erections during sleep. Each can last around 20 to 30 minutes. And no, this is not necessarily caused by dreams. It happens because of the parasympathetic nervous system. When you are asleep, especially during REM sleep, your nervous system cycles through phases of activation. Blood vessels relax, blood flow increases, and the erectile tissue fills with blood. The penis is not a muscle. It is more like a sponge made of specialized vascular tissue. When blood flows in, it expands. Interestingly, doctors sometimes use nighttime erections as a health indicator. If they stop completely, it can signal nerve or circulation problems. Science still debates the exact evolutionary purpose. Some researchers believe it is simply a byproduct of normal nervous system function. In other words, your body runs maintenance checks while you sleep. Now let's address another curiosity. Growers and showers. Is it real? Yes. Research involving thousands of men has shown that some men experience significant size increase between flaccid and erect states, while others show less percentage change. Men with smaller flaccid size often show larger proportional growth when erect. Men with larger flaccid size often show less dramatic growth. Which means one important thing. Flaccid appearance tells you almost nothing about erect size. Human bodies vary, and surface assumptions are rarely accurate. Now let's talk about something less discussed. The male G-spot. The prostate gland, located internally below the bladder and accessible through the rectal wall, contains highly sensitive nerve endings. When stimulated, it can produce intense sensation. This is a biological reality, even if cultural taboos make it uncomfortable to discuss. The male body contains complex pleasure systems, just like the female body. Speaking of surprising biology, here is something many people do not know. Under certain rare hormonal conditions, men can lactate. The hormone prolactin stimulates milk production. If prolactin levels rise abnormally, male breast tissue can produce milk. This does not happen naturally in most cases. It usually requires hormonal imbalance or medication. But it demonstrates something incredible. The human body is adaptable in ways most people never imagine. Now let's move to something relatable. Temperature. Have you ever noticed that men often feel warmer in the same room where women feel cold? There is a biological reason. Men generally have more muscle mass. Muscle burns more calories, even at rest. Burning calories generates heat. More muscle equals more internal heat production. That is why men often prefer slightly cooler environments. Now let's talk about skin and aging. Male skin is approximately 20 to 30% thicker than female skin. It also tends to have higher collagen density. This often means wrinkles appear later in men. However, when aging signs do appear, they can be more sudden. Hormones play a major role. Women experience menopause, which causes a rapid drop in estrogen and accelerated skin thinning. Men experience gradual testosterone decline over time, which brings us to another topic, male menopause, sometimes called andropause. Testosterone levels in men slowly decrease with age. This can lead to fatigue, reduced motivation, irritability, and mood changes. Unlike female menopause, it is gradual. Sperm production can continue well into older age. There are documented cases of men fathering children in their 70s, 80s, and even beyond. However, science shows that sperm quality declines over time. After age 40, mutation rates increase, and fertility may decrease. Age affects everyone, just in different ways. Now let's address hair loss. Many people believe bald men have higher testosterone. This is not entirely accurate. Baldness is primarily linked to genetics and sensitivity to a hormone called DHT, which is derived from testosterone. Some men with normal testosterone levels lose hair. Some men with lower levels keep their hair. It is about follicle sensitivity, not raw hormone levels. Interestingly, studies have shown that shaved heads are often perceived as more dominant and confident compared to thinning hairstyles, which tells us something important. Perception is influenced by presentation. Finally, let's talk about the Adam's apple. During puberty, testosterone causes the larynx to grow larger in males. This enlarges the vocal cords, which produces a deeper voice. A deeper voice may have evolved as a way to signal maturity, strength, and genetic fitness. Across cultures, deeper male voices are often associated with authority and dominance. Again, evolution leaves clues everywhere. So what does all of this mean? The male body is not random. It is shaped by millions of years of adaptation. Strength, hormones, muscle mass, voice depth, temperature regulation, all part of a survival blueprint. But here is the most important truth. Physical design does not define character. Muscle does not equal discipline. Hormones do not equal wisdom. Biology does not equal destiny. Real strength today is control. Control over impulses. Control over emotions. Control over decisions. Your body is a powerful machine, but you are the operator. Understand it. Respect it. Take care of it. Train it. And never compare it unfairly to someone else's. Because evolution made you unique. And that alone is extraordinary. This is IQ Spark. Stay curious. Stay sharp.